Max Holloway picks Jiri Prochazka to defeat Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira and Jiri running this back, brother. And they both running it back at the same time, like they did last time to save a card. Alex Pereira is just looking like him, bro. He's looking like the one. He's the one, bro. He's putting... There's one thing to just step on short notice when you don't have the belt on the, the belt online, but for a champion to repeatedly step in on short notice, I got nothing but respect for Alex. That's crazy that he's doing that, and he's winning, and he's defending. But I tell you this much: if there is a time to get Mr. Pereira in a fight, the time is now. Jiri was in his hut right after UFC 300, training for a fight. Training for something. He left UFC 300, went back home to his hut, and started training again. Mr. Pereira, on the other hand, was on the opposite side of the world, doing world tours in Australia, doing side missions. He always be doing side missions, man. This guy's a G. Always be doing side missions. But if I had to tell you guys that the time to get Alex Pereira, the time would be now, bro. I mean, full camp, both guys, anybody can win a fight. This is MMA, brother. Don't say I don't want to disrespect Jiri and be like, oh, this is the only chance you get. I'm just saying, if your odds is greater on one side, it is now, guys. It is now. I mean, but like I said, man, if I was a betting man, I'm a gambler, I'd have to roll with Jiri, bro. He's an underdog.
Kamaru Usman responds to Israel Adesanya, saying that if MVP defeats Ian Gary tomorrow, Kamaru should fight him next. Izzy thinks that if Kamaru were to beat MVP, he'd be granted a title shot.
Well, no, I mean, listen, I didn't see it, but I mean, based on this, I'm not taking, he's not wrong. He's not wrong, 100%. If he's able to get past Ian Gary and he's able to fight me and scrape out a win, I mean, 100%. You can say, yes, I'm next for the title shot. 100%. And I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with him saying, yes, that guy's ranked #1 in the world. If I can beat him, of course, I should fight for the title next. It's nothing wrong with him being ambitious. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. He's dynamic and he's different. And obviously, that's a puzzle. He's a tricky puzzle that you have to solve. A couple of guys have solved it. So if those guys solved it, why can't I? So, it's one of those things. But I see nothing wrong with what he says. He wants to challenge himself and he wants to fight for the title. And that's what everyone should aspire to do. You want to be champion of the world. So, more power to him. I think he's absolutely right. If he's able to get wins over those two guys, who can deny him a title shot? But all I have to say is it's easier said than done.
Paddy Pimblett uploaded his live reaction at Jared Gordon's controversial loss to Nasrat Haqparast last weekend. Paddy ironically also thinks that Jared won.
Big Jared coming in. Come on, lad. I always like to see Jared Gordon do well, lad. Oh, go on, Jared, lad. He's solid everywhere, Jared. He's good at everything. Oh, go on, Jared, lad. Put it on him. Yeah, I think Jared's winning this round, lad, defo. I reckon Jared's won that 2-1. I think he won the second and the third. 100% fight of the night so far. Jared Gordon can actually grab the mic and start shouting fight of the night and not get ridiculed like I did when I fought him. Split decision. Surely it's Jared. Feel for Jared there. That was shocking. I thought he'd won that.
Nate Diaz gave his take on Conor McGregor pulling out of UFC 303 due to a broken toe. Nate also gives his take on whether or not he thinks he'll fight Conor again. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Nate said, I think it was just a minor thing. I think they made a bigger deal out of it than it is. Good idea. If I get f***ed up, I would like to push the fight back too. But people f***ing freak out. I think I wouldn't want to fight until I'm 100% ready to rock too. Because in the past, I've done all kinds of shit I shouldn't have done. So I think he learned from experience, and all these inexperienced people out here talking shit, just speaking from their inexperience. They're going to have to deal with the criticism until the fight gets done. But I think it'll happen and it'll all be good. On fighting Conor again, Nate continued, yeah, we'll see what happens with time, It depends on what happens with my fight, his fight, UFC. I ain't a fortune teller, you know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. Mike Perry believes Jake Paul is currently using PEDs. The two are scheduled to box on July 20th. On the Overdogs podcast, Perry said, well, he's got to be hot. If he went from, 210, if he really did go to 230, he had to use something. I don't know how the testing is going to be. They may test me and not test him. That's fine. I've fought people who are on it. I know I've trained with people who are on the juice. You know, it is what it is. You could test me any day of the week. I eat chicken and steak and I eat rice and I train, and I just love to fight. So it's just more of a mentality thing for me. Robert Whittaker does not like the idea of being the backup fighter for Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya.
But also, you know, once the adrenaline settled down and whatnot, like, I'm no one's backup fighter, dude. Like,
hell yeah. I'm not
gonna sit in the, you know, on the sideline waiting for crumbs. Like, when I fight either one of those guys, that's the fight the UFC is gonna give me, and I'm gonna go hunting. Like, they're gonna enter my crosshairs, and you know, that's what I'll do. So I think I like that approach much more than, you know,
definitely,
like I said before.
Anthony Smith went off on the light heavyweight division at the UFC 303 Media Day. Smith claims that every single light heavyweight turned him down, and that's why middleweight Roman Dolidze had to step in.
Him moving up says a lot about my division. So if you guys want to do your jobs, go ask every available light heavyweight why there's a middleweight fighting this fight. They're going to make up a bunch of shit, but I think you guys can read between the lines. Every single one of them said no. So, you know, I'm the veteran, I'm the gatekeeper, like whatever those guys say. Well, why does Anthony get paid so much? And why does he get this opportunity? And why does he do this? Because I'm willing to do the that you guys won't do. Me fighting a middleweight on Saturday proves that to everybody. So I think all those guys just got exposed.
Do people actually bring up like your pay, like you said? Like, why is Anthony getting
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like fellow fighters?
Yeah, we hear that back all the time.
Like fellow fighters saying
Oh yeah.
that?
Oh yeah. It's weird, right? Yeah, it's very weird. Like, what if you guys were out there arguing about who makes more money? That'd be weird, right?
Alex Pereira says that if he were to lose to Jiri Prochazka this weekend, the trilogy would make sense.
Were you guaranteed a rematch with Jiri if you were to lose?
Não tem nada certo, né? Mas eu acredito que
Nothing's right with the organization, but I think that, you know what I mean, if in case that Jiri wins on Saturday, I think it makes more sense for organization for a straight rematch. You have a lot of guys over there on the line, but I think in terms of making a fight, I think that makes more sense.
Dana White has shut down the potential of Conor McGregor returning in either August, September, or October. Robbie Fox from Barstool asked Dana backstage at the UFC 303 presser. Robbie said, any update on when he's going to get back into the octagon? People are saying August, September, maybe October. Is there any update there? Dana said none of the above. The co-main event between Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes tomorrow has been moved from a featherweight fight to a lightweight fight.
All right, so it was just announced on the official UFC weigh-in show that the Brian Ortega-Diego Lopes fight, which was scheduled for 145 pounds, is now a 155-pound lightweight fight. Now, I said earlier in the week that this was the weight cut that concerned me the most because Ortega had said that he was bulking up for a move to 55, potentially in September, the Sphere card, and then he gets this sort of detour to stick to 145, and that could be problematic when you're starting to change your body. And so what I was told was Diego Lopez's team got a call at about 3:30 a.m. local time in Las Vegas, saying that Ortega was 151 and that he wouldn't be able to make 146, which is the non-title fight limit, and that if he didn't start rehydrating, the fight would just be off. And so they had to agree to either a 155-pound fight or a fight being canceled. Diego Lopes and his team agreed to a 155-pound fight, and that's what we're going to get. So it's going to be a lightweight fight between the two of them. He chose that over not fighting tomorrow, and who could blame him? So there's the latest regarding the Brian Ortega-Diego Lopes fight, which is now a lightweight fight tomorrow night.
155, the official weight for Brian Ortega.
Diego Lopes is getting paid more because of all of this. Ariel followed up with this post to X. He wrote, I am being told that Lopes is getting more money for his troubles. Alex Pereira ran into Jamahal Hill. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Israel Adesanya saying that Jiri's going to win tomorrow. Says Izzy's so salty. He got walked down by a jab merchant, while Alex headlined 300 and is on his second defense. The second one's from Bobzilla Plays. Says imagine Ian says do the Gary, and his kid goes and sits in the chair in the corner. And the final one's from Bark Academies. Says Whittaker is levels beyond Hamzat. Hamzat needs to just show up before he mentions Whittaker. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.